So I appreciate you doing this interview. So let's start. So I mean, let's start from the beginning. So you're from originally from Dumbarton.
Yeah.
And how did you get into the music scene? How old were you when you first started the guitar? When you picked up your first guitar?
Maybe my mum used to play the guitar. She doesn't play it so much anymore. But when I was about 10, 11, she used to play the guitar, and I used to see her singing.
Was your mum good?
Yeah. Well, she's all right. She's got quite small, stubby fingers, so she struggles, to do any of the wee riff and stuff. But I used to watch her go, wow, you make my heart sing. You make everything groovy. So I used to watch her do that, and that's not complicated, and I used to watch her do that on the guitar when I was about 10, and I was
10,
like,
11.
that looks quite cool. I'd like to try and do that.
Mm-hmm. And so you were 10, 11, you used to kind of play the guitar here and there. So
and then for about 4 or 5 years, I used to play. I got right into it, like 3-4 hours a day. I would be playing, and I used to play Sorry, just inhaled a bit of smoke there.
Right.
Aye, but I used to play like fucking Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, all that shit. And I got right into it, I was playing like 3-4 hours a day, and then when I got to about 15, 16, I discovered drink and drugs and women, and that took precedent over the guitar.
And you were saying about when you went over to Ireland and with the €300 and you were busking. That's how you started the busking and all that, singing there. So what was that story?
Out a few times playing the guitar and that, and then I just had this deep wanderlust, it's called, the deep desire to travel. And then when I was about 17, 18, I decided to go over to Ireland. I went over for 2 weeks myself. I had like €300 saved up, and then on my 3rd or 4th night there, I met a guy in a pub who came over from Norway. He had just his guitar, his rucksack with a pair of clothes and a cheap iPad and a tent in his rucksack. And he came over from Norway to Ireland with €30, and I travelled with him around Ireland for about a week.
What's his name?
Christopher. Yeah.
In case he's watching us.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Christopher.
Christopher Birkendale. He just brought out his first record about a month ago.
Oh, right. So
I met him 4 years ago, and he played me this song, and that was the single for his record that he just brought out a month ago. So it took him about 4 years. I met him. He had one song. 4 years later, he's got a full.
When I heard you, I was actually blown away because I thought, man, this guy's Josh is gonna, he's gonna go places, and I don't say that much. I mean, I'm not a huge music person. I listen to music. I've got a wide range of genre, R&B, rap, hip hop. You know what I mean? Bollywood music. But the way you hit that, you hit the notes, and the way you the guitar and your style, and I was like, man, it's top of the pop style and MTV, all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're quite humble. You just play music as a pastime, you don't really take it serious.
It's just for fun, man.
Yeah.
Just for fun. The reason I started busking really was because I stayed just down the road, and I stay in a flat.
Yeah.
And I used to sit late at night practicing the guitar, but I've got neighbours, so you can only practice till so late. And then I realised, I could go out to the street and play till like 3-4 in the morning.
You should definitely take it to the other level, man. Send some demo tapes and stuff to some
but like I was saying
production
earlier,
companies.
It's not it's not my main focus. I like it as a pastime for it.
Mm-hmm. You're more sort of, you were saying you're political as well. You've got other things in your mind. You want to travel. You want to do all that.
Ideally, my main goal is to try and make the world a better place and try and find the best avenue to make the most amount of change.
A lot of evil in the world. There's a lot of you were saying that.
I went to George Square months ago when there was some campaign to tear down a statue or something, and about 2,000 racist, basically Nazis, turned up at George Square They were there for a whole night drinking, and because there was so many of them, the police didn't remove them.
Was that the BLM movement? Was that all right, yeah.
Yeah, the BLM movement. This was months ago, and me and my friends, we weren't like there to tear down a statue. We just decided
to support,
we would go and see what was
yeah.
going on, you know. And we didn't have. One of my friends had a BLM mask on. And a couple of people were like, what the fuck are you doing wearing that? You're not even black, blah, 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 all the rest of it. But me and my friends, you know, we didn't have anything that said BLM on it. So we didn't have anything to particularly aggravate people. We just happened to be there and be dressed colourfully.
Yeah.
And there was people there who wanted to fucking kill us just because we were there and we were dressed colourfully.
It's a fucked up world, man, because it's like...
And that breaks my heart. And the thing with what you're saying about music, whether I want to take it further, I think that to make a difference with music, you need to be the best of the best, you know, you need to be like top of the charts level before anybody would listen to you. And unfortunately, I don't feel I've got the talent to make top of the charts.
So would you not go...
have enough talent to vaguely, if me and my friends all joined together and try to make music, we could maybe make some music that some people would listen to, but not enough to be top of the charts that everybody would listen to you. Whereas I feel if I was to try and get into politics, because there's never been an actual prime minister who's came through grit and through suffering and who's been on the brew or who's been surrounded by people who suffer. You know, anyone who's been a prime minister has been a rich so-and-so from who's had everything provided for them.
So all the political parties, I mean, who do you vote for and who?
I went to vote... Sorry. I went to vote SNP at the recent election. And I was sort of about 70% in support of independence, I would have said, until this recent thing that happened the other day in Kenmure Street, where the Home Office turned up and tried to take two members of two innocent civilians.
I heard that. That's right.
Scottish
yesterday.
Fucking citizens.
Yeah,
and
yesterday.
the Home Office, so not the Scottish Parliament, the UK government have came and tried to take them away. And until yesterday, I was about 70% in support of independence. But as of yesterday, I'm fully in support of it because I feel we should have the power to say who's allowed to live here.
That was powerful. It was about 1,000 protesters here.
All over throughout the course of the day.
How long did a standstill last for? Around surrounded by the police. How long did it?
I think it started about 10, 11 o'clock, and there was still people there I was there till 7 or 8 o'clock, and there was still people there. I think it was about 6 or 7 o'clock after about 7 or 8 hours of a standoff that the police agreed to let the guys go. Which is beautiful. I've been to quite a lot of sort of protest and rallies in my years, and this is the only one that I've seen.
They just gave up. They just let them go.
Yeah. I've seen people protesting about climate change and that. I was doing it at the SECC a few years ago when there was a weapons fair exchange in the SECC, so governments from all over the world were coming to the SECC to view weapons to buy. And there was a big, campaign and protest outside that, but it didn't make a difference. But this one yesterday, all of Glasgow got together, and because of that, two guys that they could have been in a detention centre just now, terrified, getting sent home to fuck knows where. But because of the people of Glasgow getting together, they're not. They're in a flat tonight, and they know that they're safe and that they're accepted.
Oh, that's a beautiful thing. And all the shit's going over in Palestine as well. At the moment,
yeah, exactly. On Sunday, there's going to be a big gathering in Glasgow. In George Square, in support of what's going on in Palestine.
It's terrible. I mean, the kids and that, and the suffering.
The fact that they're to even try and justify that, to say, oh, we're trying to bomb here and there. There's fucking children and families getting blown up. You can't even try to justify that.
It's like people criticise what happened in apartheid South Africa, but then it's going on at the moment now, and over in Israel. I mean, no one notices it.
One of the things that as good as it is to see people stopping the eviction and the deportation at the weekend there, I've seen a lot of posts on Facebook and Instagram saying, oh, they tried to do dawn raids in the 90s and the early 2000s in Glasgow, and the people of Glasgow stood up then and they'll stand up now. And I've seen posts insinuating that this is just something that's going on just now. But yesterday, as I walked to Kenmure Street, I remembered staying in Pollokshields 4.5 years ago, and I remembered walking home at 4:30 in the morning and seeing 3 Home Office fans outside a flat with, must have been about 10 adults and about 15 children standing shivering, freezing in the cold at 4:30 in the morning with black bin bags, getting aggressively shoveled into this van. And that was 4.5 years ago. So it's not like it's something that's just arisen recently. It's something that's going on all the time.
I'm gonna say, sorry to interrupt you, but
No, that's...
this is a moment for a Bob Marley track.
All right.
So you're going to play with Bob Marley?
Let's do it.
Okay, hit me with Bob Marley. Come on, let's do this.
Let's do it. Hello.